We have to make a standard of not dealing with chicks that have a family history of child alienation. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
something that needs to be number one and implemented for everybody, because it's like, what's going to come first? We need to make a decision on what we're going to deal with first. The family court needs to be the first issue, because dads are not in the house for these niggas that not know how to get a woman. When you come from a nigga knowing how to get a woman, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something we should put forward. And I think these dudes need to I think the space needs to make it clear between the two, not to separate, but to understand like what we're doing over here. Now I'll just put Mr. Palmer as the person, as the main guy. What Mr. Palmer is doing is really saving a lot of dudes' lives and saving a lot of women and children from getting hurt, because it's stressful to know you got a baby that you love and you can't get to your baby.
Boom, the world class.
And that's what it is.
I think he's absolutely right. Because with the also,
he's right. He's right, but
let Black
go ahead.
Oh no, I had a question for the panel. But when you was talking about the filters and stuff like that, I don't even think that's even necessary. Let's look at, for example, I don't know if you guys saw the picture that's circulating around with Pinky on it.
Yeah.
Is Pinky over here how she used to be? Is Pinky how she is now? It's dudes that will still smash Pinky the way she look right now, even knowing
most niggas will,
even knowing what she have the ability to look like. So it's just that men are really, really, really that thirsty, I guess. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. So a lot of people tell me you got to understand everybody don't think like you, which leads to my question.
Okay.
How many of you guys on this panel have had a woman tell you that, hey, you know how to communicate well, because most men don't know how to communicate?
I have, yeah. They say that a lot. That's pretty normal.
That's normal.
So that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal for us on this panel, right? Okay, twofold. For us, it's not an issue because we don't have a problem talking and conversing with women. But then the women are saying that's what most guys are like. So for me, I'm trying to figure it out, because I'm like, so it is the 68.2, the majority on the bell curve. Are those the most men, and are we the outliers? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
I think Dirty Folks is most equipped to answer that question, because I know what he's gonna say.
You're gonna get a Dirty Folks take, because you added in that variable that females are liars.
If they breathing, they lying. They either lying on their back or they lying with clothes on. Either way. But here's the answer. Here's the answer to that. But they lie to themselves. So I mean, it's the truth to them, but they lying to themselves. So how they gonna say truth to them? But you still gonna die because they fight promoters. Anyway, but as the story progresses, here's the answer to your question. It's a simple answer. If my body count, and I'm a reborn virgin, I'm a born again virgin. And as a born again virgin, if my body count, I would put my body count against anybody unless they're a professional athlete or a high level rock and roll star. You know what I'm saying? I ain't Will Chamberlain, but I'm killing, right?
No, how I do it. I have no idea.
A lot of threesomes. Anyway,
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, and I don't want you to keep going.
But here's the thing. When you hear those songs by like Rick Ross and Snoop Dogg, like Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None and all that, girls have a type. And their type changes, but the energy of their type stays the same. The confidence, the arrogance, all that type is the same.
Yeah, some base things. Gotcha.
So I can sleep with, if I slept with 100 girls that my boy Brian and my boy Bill slept with, because they doing numbers too, but we rotating the same girls, and we didn't even know each other slept with them. Like, he'll sleep with the girl in like 2013. I hit in 2017. Because in 2013, she like light-skinned niggas with curly hair. In 2017, she like brown-skinned niggas with pretty eyes. So as her, you know what I'm saying? So we all flavors for all seasons.
They follow the fast. Right. That's what I was saying about the line thing, yeah.
So, because they live comparatively. So now they all say they want a 6-foot nigga, but only 3% of the nation is 6 feet. So they're lying. right?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
But if they thought they were telling the truth, that means that 6 foot dudes would get all the pussy. So you still wouldn't get no pussy if you 5'11" or shorter, because that's how girls are. Light skin was in when Al B. Shaw and Christopher Williams was doing their thing. Light skin niggas was winning. Dark skin niggas was African booty scratchers. Then Wesley Snipes get hot and got them at Old Dog pop out. Now dark skin niggas is in.
Tyrese and Tyson.
I would argue dark skinned niggas ain't never went out.
They ain't. They ain't. Light skin when niggas went out, but dark skin
they get seasons.
Bang,
hey, Drake is breathing. They got action. Him and Chris Brown.
All right, I'll go with that. Here's my thing. But the question that you're asking me is a simple answer. If I'm doing numbers by the thousands to the point that I'm like, I got a routine. Like I do this, this, and this. There's only 5 different type of girl. So it's 5 personalities. In 3 minutes, I should know a personality. And I got 1 of 5 lines I'm going to give her. Because I'm trying to fuck today. I'm not trying to wait till tomorrow. So we're going to do this, 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 and this. And at the end of it, it's going to end with a taco and some tequila. And everything going to be good. If I got that from practice, years of practice, a lot of rejection, a lot of practice, a lot of, this is life. But if I got that, then that means that other guys who get it in, they have their routine, whether it's their cars, whether it's the clothes they wear, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's they make sure they got a hat that match every shirt, whatever their style is, that fits their personality. Whether they a light-skinned, pretty nigga with a beard, because beard gang is in, whatever their thing is, they got their thing. And they work it. And they work it. And it's no problem with that. They work it. Work your number like you supposed to, right? Just like fat girls put on body shapers so they look like they got big titties, like everything ain't big.
That's true.
Work your number. But what happens is you have a lot of men who don't have social skills because they never did any group participation shit. So that's most black women, because I ain't never seen black women that wasn't lesbian do team building shit. You don't you don't see black girls really on the volleyball team, or you know what I'm saying, holding up other girls for the pyramid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see them.
Right. That's why I say that parents should put their daughters in team sports early. I believe that.
I totally agree with that. But because of that, they make black girls horrible partners because they don't know how partnership works. They're very selfish. It makes guys think that they have female talking points. The guys y'all talking about have female talking points.
Bro, listen. We so on a little podcast channel, right? I don't know if you had heard that particular conversation though, Tommy. Every time we would kind of, I want to say, box them into the truth, they will always say, but dudes will accept it. But you can get a boyfriend. But you can get a man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at the end of the day, I'm always with dirty folks with that. Everything is our fault, right? It's our fault because at the end of the day, we're the leaders. But my shit is if it's gonna be my fault, then I need the full control. If I tell you shut the fuck up, sit your ass down, shut the fuck up.
It might not be my fault, but it's my responsibility.
No, exactly. It's so fault, but it's so fake. Nobody ever says the second part of that. When I say men build culture, nobody ever says the second part of that. They just blame men for building a bad culture. When I say it's men's fault, it's men's fix. So nothing she says with clothes on matters. Nobody mentions that part. But if I got to take all the blame, I'll take the blame, right? As the coach, she's my star player. When the team wins, give her all the credit. When the team loses, I got to do that press conference.
That's facts.
So it don't matter what the fuck she talking about, because I got to take that weight. They don't fire the player; they fire the coach.
Yeah, I was on your panel one time, real fast. I think some people got mixed up. You was asking about, we was talking about the Roe v. Wade thing. I think you was asking about like the responsibility, and that's why I said in my situation, I take the brunt of it because I'm gonna make the decision if I have sex with her, whether it's gonna be a condom or not, and whether I shoot it up. I take that. So everything that happened after that, it ain't even an argument for me. So when I saw these cats in this space arguing about, oh, but she get the no. I'm gonna make the decision if this even gonna be a situation or not. Period. From the jump, I can control that.
Yeah.
And so for me, You know, that's why like people have heard about my situation with, you know, my kids' moms, and they tell me I'm lucky, and I'm like, I'm not taking that no more, because I'd say I was lucky if it was a one night stand, and then I didn't end up having any drama with these women. But I keep telling you, I knew them, and I hear these cats telling these stories about these chicks they was with, and I'm like, you must didn't know her. Like, it wasn't to me that I didn't get taken to court.
They definitely should substitute the word lucky for rare.
Because you took rare.
You take control of the situation, but before you took control of the situation, you already knew who you were before you went into it. You did a lot of work prior to, you know, like you just said, it wasn't a one night stand.
Yeah.
I made that decision.
Her family, all of that.
Right. I made that decision to make my son with my son's mother, and it's on me. Like, and I often say, and people in my actual life, my private life, it's like I used to have a joke with her. But when she was pregnant, let me see my son, because I already knew what type of shit she was on. Yeah. I already knew who she was at. I was like, I see what you gonna do. Cool. I had a joke with her. Let me see my son playing a game. I know what you were gonna do, and I ate that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, what fucking pissed me off wasn't so much her. It was a family. That's why I put it family court. That's why I didn't put it the chick. You know, they're that problem with females. We got a problem with the court and the system.
That's why whenever I talk about my situation, I tell people, not only did I know her, I knew her family. I knew how they would react if she did any of that bullshit. So I not only was focused on how she would react, I also went to see the attitude of the family, and if she did some fucked up shit, would they take her back every time, or, you know, all that type of shit. And so when I seen that it wasn't like that, then I knew, oh, okay, if she's trying some funny shit, her family gonna be on her helmet. Oh, that ain't cool. You need to woo woo.
Which is one of the first things I tell them dudes in their red pill rage, dating sphere, whatever you want to call it. Y'all have to learn from us on the other side. You have to stop dealing with chicks that got a family that has a history of child alienation and child support and all of that. That's one of the, if there's no rule that, you know, Poppy, you don't like the fat chicks. It's dirty, don't like chicks if they got clothes on. All of that, but that all that shit funny. But we have to make a lot of us don't like. We have to make a standard of not dealing with chicks that have a family history of child alienation. You know what I'm saying? That's something that needs to be number one and implemented for everybody, because it's like, what's going to come first? We need to make a decision on what we're going to deal with first. The family court needs to be the first issue, because dads are not in the house for these niggas and not know how to get a woman. When you come from a nigga knowing how to get a woman, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that we should put forward. And I think these dudes need to I think the space needs to make it clear between the two, not to separate, but to understand like what we're doing over here. And I would just put Mr. Palmer as a person, as the main guy. What Mr. Palmer is doing is really saving a lot of dudes' lives and saving a lot of women and children from getting hurt, because it's stressful to know you got a baby that you love and you can't get to your baby. It's crazy, bro. I will say this on this live. I spent at least 100 days trying to convince myself not to shoot that bitch. Real shit. You should 100. At least.
Hey, y'all know what?
I listen to y'all stories.
I definitely want to do something on my show about that, but being that it's so sensitive.
Shout out to Big Mike. Yeah.
I wanted to get a panel of men to do that, because I didn't want to seem like I was ranting against my son's mom, because they don't understand that legit men, especially you can see it now, black men are killing women now because they emote emotionally first. That, hey, even if you don't do that, it takes a lot for a man not to make that OJ trip.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Nigga.
I done got in the car and drove quarter of the way and turned around. I have,
because that's your instincts kicking in for you to naturally protect your child. It's a different situation if it's a situation where it just doesn't work out with you and the mother, and she leaves the child out of it. So you can still both work as individuals to do what's best for the child. But that's not the typical scenario. What it is these women are technically insurgents because they know that the system is lopsided because it's a financial thing, and they know that the system is going to back them, you know, almost to the point where it's illegal. Like the family court is egregious with some of the things that they're willing to do and what they're willing to commit as far as the court system is concerned. And you have a lot of people that are corroborators. Like you have lawyers, you have CPS agents. And to add to what Noble was saying about, you know, avoiding women that have a history of child alienation in their family, you also got to worry about when the father is there and he's emasculated, because that was the mistake that I made.
Yeah,
I made that mistake personally. Honestly,
yeah.
And as crazy as this is going to sound, especially in this place, I think that's the only thing that's worse than dealing with someone that comes from a single mother, is one that's having a father there and she's basically the father's the mother's drone. Like he's basically a eunuch and a concubine.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know what's crazy? You immediately just convinced me of that, because that's what Palmer been showing, right?
No, but did you see that show? Not to cut you off, no, but did you see that show I did about girl dads are the #1 enemy to men?
No, I know you and Good Birds go back and forth about that. Not back and forth, but I gotta watch that.
Fuck them girl dads.
Colin, what's going on?
Get him
I heard
off
you
the
said.
line. I didn't know if you knew this.
No, I'm just asking you what's going on.
Didn't
I get
you
that.
get
I
there?
don't know why you're not listening to me.
No hair.
Just back up for a second. I just want to get clarity. You hear what you're saying out loud, brother?
Oh my gosh. Like I said, I found that chicks that grew up with their dad, their real dad, not like what Face Facts is saying, but they seem to be better human beings to me. Like my ex was a girl dad, and she can think. So I don't know. I gotta watch that. But Facebook, that shit is powerful. What you just said, because now she got this little fucking. I always was told by my OGs, man, you don't underestimate no nigga. I treat everybody like y'all that nigga. That's all. I've always treated every nigga like you that nigga. I can't afford it, because that one slip up, I'm out of this bitch. And at 8 years old, I got to see my brother dead in the casket. So death was real to me. It wasn't no joke. So when you got a nigga that's just going, oh my God, a dude that left a nigga 6'2", 340, you just going on a moment's notice to file what some chick is gonna say, man, that shit, you right, bro. You right. I can't even hold you, cause
they would be fools to resist my divine power. His death was a necessary loss. Soon I will have a new apprentice, one far younger and more powerful. Remember, when a king is loved as I am, much can be accomplished.
We didn't do this because we like you. We did this because we are you.
Boom, the world class.